Hello everyone, my name is Matt, aka Legion Rex, and welcome to what is sure to be a very interesting episode of the G.A.P. I am your host. With me I have my regular co-host, Shane, aka the Bearded One. How are you doing today, Shane?
I'm doing great. Also, I have a special message for everyone on this glorious day. Hold on, let me get my notes together. Oh, shit, where is it? Oh, okay, here it is. Eat ass, smoke grass, and sled fast.
What a wonderful message.
Wise words. Wise words.
Wise words from
from
Dan the Meme Man.
Yes.
Wise words from a not-so-wise man.
On this glorious 420, where we should smoke weed every day.
Every day.
It won't be 420 by the time this comes out.
It will not be 420 by the time this comes out. It will be 423. Also with me, I have our lovely guest, Josh, who returns for the second week in a row. Josh, how are you doing today?
Pretty good. You know, I really wouldn't say I'm a guest. More like a reoccurring background character.
Pretty much.
Yeah, he's
pretty
like
much
that secondary character who gets no development, but he's always there for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so he's every best friend in every harem.
Yep.
He's the best friend harem character who is the only other male character but never gets any development. He's only there for comedic relief purposes.
You're damn right. Ha ha. I'm sad. No girls love me. Cue laugh track.
Oh,
Same.
Today we're going to be talking about some of the new simulcast shows that we started watching. A little bit of news. News was pretty dead this past couple weeks, but there's always news to talk about, as well as our wonderful featured anime that I'm sure Shane will have a delight talking about. So
Can't wait for it.
So we're gonna get started with some of the simulcast. As you know, a new season of anime has started up, and we have all started watching some simulcast. And all I'm gonna say is, holy shit, this season of anime is really good.
This season is surprisingly good.
Like really, like stupid good. This is not like how many? Okay, I wanna Shane.
Yes.
How many shows have you seen that you've openly like said, I want to, like, you gave this, like, you watched it and you're like, I want to watch more? How many shows were you like this season?
Well, if I reference my list, I can give you an accurate number.
An accurate number would be very nice.
At least 8 or 9.
Very nice.
Ooh. That is quite a bit.
Indeed.
At least 8 or 9 shows where I watched it and I openly said, yes, I am interested enough to wish to continue watching this.
Nice.
That is not including My Hero.
Yes. Because
I'm pretty sure
that's in its own category.
Yes, that's in the My Hero category of.
that is
Like
like
it is the exception to the rule.
Yes.
It is Jesus.
I mean, you're not wrong.
It is pretty much Jesus at this point. Josh, are you watching any simulcasts again outside of My Hero?
I believe I am watching one. I will quickly check my Crunchyroll and stuff just to check my history and see if I'm watching anything else. The one I know I'm watching for sure is Sword Art Online Alternate. It's actually,
Ooh.
I will say, it's much better than the original GGO.
Well,
I've heard a lot about
I mean,
that,
It's
actually.
actually pretty decent, and after the first episode, I was like, you know what? I'm intrigued enough that I want to see more of what happens.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but praise for
Yep.
it, actually. So, like, I'm
well, I mean,
actually
it's a different
interested.
studio from the original series,
And then
so
the second
already.
episode actually had character development. What's that?
Nice.
What?
What's that? I thought it was
Character
just throw a whole
development
bunch
in
of
Sword
girls at the
Art
main character.
Online?
But it's good.
It's Shade.
Yes.
We'll watch it. We'll both.
I heard
watch it
Funimation. I swear to God, Josh.
Yeah, I'm checking my list.
What are the three shows you would recommend to people watch this season?
Immediately.
The most.
Immediately, the first one that comes to mind is Megalobox.
Agreed.
Like, aside from My Hero, which again it's in its own special fucking category because it's My Hero, the Megalobox is like above and beyond anything else that's airing this season. It's fucking fantastic.
So good. It's so good. It's so good. Anything else this season that you would recommend people like go check out and watch? Out of the surprising large variety.
Like everything else I've seen is recommendations, but not as highly as Megalobox. Because honestly, that's like the fucking top of the list, aside from My Hero, of course. But I'd say for me, well, my top three are Megalobox, Golden Kamui, which I wasn't as into it as you were, Matt. Mainly because of the production values. The animation isn't great for a show like this, and I honestly wish that it was a little bit better.
It's a Berserk case where the fucking manga's art is really hard to adapt properly.
Yeah. But aside from that, it's got a really interesting story, it's got great characters, and aside from a really horrible CG bear, I really enjoyed watching it.
The writing in it is really good.
Nice.
The Golden Kamui's writing is so good. Like it's a case where this is a case where literally the writing saves everything. It's so well written that it doesn't matter.
Yeah, like you can have an anime where if the story's golden but everything else is like decent, it's still really great. Like a good example.
I mean, the story is.
I'm trying to think of a good example of like golden story, but everything else is just decent.
Berserk 97.
Yeah, there you go.
Berserk 97. Like, that's the perfect example.
Anyone in the comments, like, let us know otherwise if you got anything that you think is, like, a great story.
You act like people comment on our videos.
You never know.
That's cute.
And, well, I mean, the story is golden. It's called Golden
It's
Kamui,
it's literally called Golden Kamui.
Right. And there's another, and what is the third one? A third one you would
The third one
recommend?
for me is Gigigi no Kitaro. Because it's surprisingly good.
Now, that
like, I did...
That's the one about where, like, it's set in modern Tokyo and you have, like, spirits and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
And it's fucking awesome. It's really good.
It's actually
I really
good.
enjoy it. Like, it's a perfect example. It's fucking charming as hell, and it's tons of fun.
But it's also really creepy at the same time.
It balances horror and comedy really well. It reminds me a lot of, like, Shane has mentioned this. It reminds me a lot of Paranorman.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that was a good one.
Because it's able to. I have a feeling that if I was like a kid, like I was like 9 years old, I would be spooked by this.
Yeah,
probably.
I'd be legitimately spooked. Like, there's some really interesting ideas here and they're not afraid to go like really fucked with it too.
Mm-hmm. Like, remember in the first episode, not only is there a fucking parody of Logan Paul with a selfie stick out in the middle of Tokyo asking people to subscribe to his channel, but then in the same scene he turns into a fucking tree.
I mean, I was happy about that because no one likes him anyways.
Well, duh. I mean, fuck.
I mean, like,
that's a topic for another discussion.
Yeah.
As for me, my first one, I'm not gonna mention Megalobox because that's already that's but I'm gonna mention three others that Shane has not mentioned yet in order to guys watch. First one is Watoki.
Or Love is Hard for Otaku?
Love is Hard for an Otaku. Okay, I expected this to be good just from the staff, but I didn't expect it to be this good. Probably in terms of if you're looking like, a lot of the best shows this season are really, like, the action shows. If you're looking for a good non-action show this season, it's probably this one. It's A1. It's a romance that's set in the workplace.
Ooh.
Which, when the fuck do you see that in anime?
Yeah, they really haven't done that.
Yeah. It's a josei. Which is, in my opinion, the genre that's been doing the most interesting work in anime. And by easily the best work, too. Because they did Rakugo a couple like last year and the year back, and holy shit, that was great. The other one is Comic Girls.
Yeah, you won't shut the fuck up about Comic Girl.
Yeah, no, because it's, and you haven't tried it out.
No, I haven't watched it yet.
You should, because the animation in this show, not only the animation in this show has no right to be as good as it is.
No, I saw a snippet of the first episode, and I'll agree with you there. The animation is fucking fantastic.
The animation is fucking fantastic. The main cast is, like, infectiously likable. And it's one of those things where it's cute girls doing cute things, but it reminds me a lot of, like, New Game in terms of tone.
Ooh.
And New Game was really good. So, if this can be as enjoyable as New Game, I'm gonna be fine. As for another one, fucking.
You know, there's someone else who has recommendations.
What's your recommendation? Son?
I know what your recommendations are.
Well, the first one, obviously, Sword Art Alternate. If you're an SAO fan and you liked the first arc but hated everything else, like most people, you'll like
99% of the population.
You'll like this. Magical Girl Ore, not Sight.
Yeah, that was gonna be mine. That was gonna be mine, actually.
Yeah, which is a magical girl comedy, which basically just shits on the genre and makes fun of it in every way, in the perfect ways.
Yeah.
And then I will say, if you want a show that will smack you in the face multiple times with seriousness, Magical Girl Sight.
I was gonna say Magical Girl Sight if you like being a horrible person.
Like, that first episode really does have just such a huge impact value. Like, it's like a, holy fuck, I can't believe they did that. Now, it does tone itself down a lot in the next episode, but that's because...
Yeah, the difference between the two episodes is like night and day.
You really do have to, though, because it's a great way to grab people's attention.
And hey, episode 3 airs the day we're recording this, so who knows where they'll go with it.
You never know.
Yeah, who knows where they'll go with it. It could be one of those anime where it just goes in a direction that none of us are like, what the hell everyone's like, what the hell is this?
It'll become a bubblegum moe show.
Yep.
Out of nowhere.
Yep. I believe
no,
that.
Knowing this show, I would not be surprised.
And then they all die.
But yeah, Magical Ori was going to be my suggestion, because that show is...
Something else.
Fucking hilarious.
Hilarious. There's other shows this season I don't really like. Like, I like Tatakan as well. Like, Tatakan's really good. If you liked Nozaki-kun, you'll love this. This season's just really good in general, and that's not including, like, Full Metal Panic, Food Wars, Steins Gate, all that shit.
All the sequels.
All the sequels, and High School BD as well. Like, all this shit that is...
Next season will be a lot better, because from the looks of it, next season is a lot of new IPs.
There's also Attack on Titan, so that's...
True.
That's also coming back.
Yeah, you gotta remember, though, that is a continuation.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna be watching it, considering that Attack on Titan is amazing.
To be honest,
so
I'm gonna be catching up and then watching it.
There actually is a lot of continuations next season too. Now that I see it, there's like Attack on Titan,
there is
Overlord, Fooly Cooly, Free, Gintama.
Oh yeah, Gintama's coming back again.
Again.
Gintama is the fucking Gintama is the fucking Lazarus of fucking anime. It just keeps coming back to life and no one knows what the fuck to do. So in any case, I'm pretty sure that is done for simulcast discussion. We've given our large thoughts on like what's the best shows of the season. We'll come back every podcast to really update you guys.
Update our thoughts.
Update our thoughts. Maybe one of the shows we're watching turns out to be dog shit.
Anything we're watching that's not a simulcast?
No, right now, because the fucking simuldubs are starting super late this season.
Yeah,
so.
And plus I really want to watch Devil's Line.
Devil's Line starts this weekend, dubcast, so.
I'm really
I'm just
excited.
waiting
so,
for May
so next
1st.
podcast we'll be talking about that.
I'm waiting for May 1st.
I know. God damn it, Josh, I know what that day is.
What's May 1st?
It's fucking High School
You're
DD.
fucking right it is.
Alright, so... we'll get right into the news. We only have 4 news stories today.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah,
damn,
like I said,
wow.
It was extremely dead.
Compared to last episode when we had like 12.
Only really 2 of them are really big pieces of news. The other 2 are just pieces of news I found interesting or wanted to discuss. The first one, and I'm going to start with one of the big ones. We're going to end with one of the big ones.
Got it.
All right. The first big one is that one of the most famous mangaka in shonen history is an author by the name of Rumihiko Takahashi. She is the person responsible for Ranma One Half, Inuyasha, Urusei Yatsura, Mermaid Saga, Rini, like all that stuff.
So some pretty popular shit.
Yeah, she's been working for over almost 3 decades at this point. So, but the combined May and June issue of the Sukuru Suppon's Sukuru magazine noted on Saturday that Rumihiko Takahashi plans to begin a new work soon. So she's got a new manga coming, which would be her. If I am correct, this would be her. Yeah, this would be her 8th long-running manga in the same magazine. And considering that each of her manga can go onwards up to... Her longest is Inuyasha, which went for 58 volumes.
Damn.
Meanwhile, most of her manga go on for 25 to 30 volumes. This is probably going to be another long runner. So, Shane, have you seen any Inuyasha, Ramno, any of that stuff
I've
before?
seen a little bit of Inuyasha. If anyone's going to talk about Inuyasha, it's this person in the background. Bone, say hi.
Hey.
You like Inuyasha, right?
Fuck yeah.
What's it like?
Good. Shut the fuck up.
Okay, there you go. That's my opinion.
There's a opinion, guys.
There's an opinion because I haven't read or seen much.
Put that on the box. Put that on the box art.
Put that on the back of the box.
It's good. Shut the fuck up.
It's good. Shut the fuck up. That's all I can say.
I think that should be
because
the
I
title of
haven't
the
seen
episode.
much or read much of her work. So fuck.
It's her work is quite good. Now you have to think it, because without her work we wouldn't have romance anime as we have it today. We wouldn't have harem anime as we have it today, thanks to Ramna. We wouldn't have pop songs as the openings for animes like how we do have them today.
That person is my queen because she invented harem, and I love my harem.
You know, the harem thing I can take really...
She essentially invented harem.
She is my queen.
Like, she invented... because Ramna One Half is one of the most famous harems in history, because Ramna One Half is one of those anime you probably have heard of, but you've just never seen.
Yep.
It's the anime where if you get hot water poured on Ramna, he turns into a girl, and if cold water's poured on him, he turns into a guy.
Cool.
And thus, it basically becomes a love dodecahedron, because everyone's in love with everybody.
Oh, please no.
Oh, God.
And but thankfully it does not take itself seriously at all, and it's also a shonen bullshit show.
Okay, that sounds a little more tolerable.
Yeah.
He's a martial artist, so he fights people and stuff too. So Ranma One Half is legitimately really funny, and it's probably her best.
Nice.
It's actually probably her best work. It's legitimately amazing. Meijo no Koku's really good too, but that's a little bit more on the serious, dramatic, romance side. So that's not everybody's cup of tea. So But yeah, she's got a new work coming. I'm definitely gonna be reading it because I love her because I love her work, and I cannot wait for it to get an anime that will never be finished because her anime are infamously never completed. So
yeah.
Inuyasha never got an ending. Ram the One Half never got an ending. Vinny never got an ending. So I cannot wait for it.
Can't wait for the inevitable anime adaptation that stops at the 63rd episode and the third of 6 arcs.
Yeah, pretty much. So moving on. We can't stop seeming to talk about My Hero. Well, I'm sorry, but the news keeps coming. They recently casted.
Oh, never mind.
They recently casted 2 of the original characters from the two original characters from the movie. The staff of the My Hero Academia, the movie, the Two Heroes anime film, announced that 2 guest cast members on Tuesday. Mirai Sida will play Melissa, a quirkless girl who Deku meets on Island. And Katsuhita Namase will play Melissa's father, David, who was a friend of All Might in his younger years. David is a scientist who makes hero support items, and Melissa is trying to work hard to follow in his footsteps. The film will open in Japan on August 1st.
Cool.
They're just American-ass people. Can we put that out there?
Also, who names themselves David?
I heard somewhere that it was David.
David. It's David.
Okay, well.
It's Devitt.
You know, this reminds me of a dream I had last night, where I was Deku.
Was you
I was Deku in our old high school.
Oh boy!
And we had like high school, we had like hero training courses and everything too.
So you had a dream that we were in high school, the same at our high school,
except we were heroes.
Instead
yeah.
You said we were heroes. That sounds infinitely better than actual high school.
It was pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. For some context, the voice of Melissa Mirasidai is not a VA in Japan. She is mainly a live action actress. But she has done work for Ghibli before.
Cool.
In terms of acting, she was in Wind Rises and The Secret Role of Arrietty. While the voice of David is an actor who has worked on a bunch of other stuff. Mainly, he's the voice of Billy Kane from Fatal Fury. So, if y'all know,
that's fucking weird.
Yeah, he's the voice of Billy Kane from Fatal Fury.
Okay.
But he was also in He's also mainly another live action actor. So basically, when they say these are guest voices, these are basically like when you make a big budget version of a movie, of a TV show, and then you make the movie, and you get actual big name actors to be in your movie.
Yeah.
That's basically what this is in Japan. They basically got really two big name actors.
Kind of like when they got Neil Patrick Harris in Adventure Time.
Pretty much, yeah. That's pretty much what this is. So, but I was more interested in the fact that we now know what the characters are like.
Yeah.
I'm calling it now. David's the fucking villain.
Papa Evil?
Yeah, Pop Evil probably.
Papa Evil coming to steal his own daughter.
Why else would they cast him? But yeah. Moving on.
Can we name this episode Papa Evil?
Papa Evil.
I mean, I thought Shut the Fuck Up, it's good, or whatever your sister said was a good title.
Joke's on you. It'll now be named neither of them. Alright, so
joke's on you fuckers. I'm in charge of this operation.
Shane.
Yes.
Outside of anime, you like movies, right?
No.
Why, yes, Matt, I am a fan of movies.
Movies. Do you like a little film called Thor Ragnarok?
No.
Well, I still haven't seen it, but everything has inclined me to say yes.
Do you like Taika Waititi?
Yes, I do.
Good. Well, he's doing Akira.
Yeah, we knew that already, though.
Yeah, but he confirmed that he's still working on it. Director Taika Waititi confirmed in an interview with Days posted last Thursday that he's still working on Warner Brothers live-action Akira film project. Waititi's not confirmed whether he's not the director for the project, but this basically confirms that he's basically directing it. His comment to Days is as follows. I haven't really started to get it around my head yet. What I wanted was to do an adaptation of the books, because a lot of people are like, don't touch that film, and I'm like, I'm not remaking the film. I want to do the book. A lot of people are freaking out and haven't even read the books, and there's 6 gigantic books to go through. It's so rich, but Akira is one of my favorite films. My mom took me to see it when I was 13, and it changed my life.
Damn.
Changed my life. Waititi also confirmed that he basically confirms the plans to adapt the original manga as opposed to the anime film adaptation. He made a similar comment to this back in October, saying the film did not need a remake and that there could be a cool live-action adaptation of the original books. So Shane, as we know, there is a very dubious history of live-action anime films, at least in U.S.
Gee, you don't say.
Yeah, Japan's a little bit more consistent. But I want your actual opinion on this, because there's a lot of debate going on right now about Akira, whether or not it can be even adapted. Do you think that Akira can actually be adapted?
Yes.
Like, this is the question here.
Yes, I think it can.
And he's also not remaking the film. He's doing the original manga.
He's basing it off the original source material, so...
Yeah.
I think it can be.
So,
I don't think it's a question of whether or not it can be adapted, because I think it can. I think it's more so how much money will it take to adapt it properly.
A lot.
Yeah,
because
last time this got
Akira
shut
is
down
something that's going to require like a huge budget to pull off.
Yeah, and the thing is that the last time the show this movie's been in production since the 90s. Akira, live action Akira is one of the most infamous cases of development hell history in Hollywood. So like the original film got actually shut down due to over budgeting, because like the budget when they were making the budget for the film, and then we're like, okay, what's the budget gonna be? $350 million.
Lol, no.
Lol, no.
That is a lot of money.
Especially especially since Akira would need to be an R-rated film.
Mm-hmm. There's no way that it wouldn't be.
Yeah, it would need to be an R-rated film.
Speaking of which, going back to the Taika Waititi thing, if I was a parent, I don't think I would have taken my 13-year-old kid to go see Akira.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, Taika is one. He's New Zealand, so from New Zealand. So
okay, so they don't care over there.
Yeah, maybe it's possible, but at the same time, this was back in the 80s.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure that his mom probably just thought it was like some
stupid cartoon.
And then Waititi saw it and was like, "Oh,
this is not a cartoon."
My tiny little boy eyes have been deceived.
Oh, cartoons are cool again. Let's go."
Yeah.
That's probably what happened. To be fair, though, I did watch Akira when I was 13, so I don't know. Whenever I ask people when they first watched Akira, is either A, they waited until like they were like an adult and just never heard of it before, or they watched it when they were like 13 or 12. Like there's no in between.
When did I watch it?
What?
I watched it when I was like 19, I think.
Yeah, and it's insane.
Oh yeah, it's actually draining. Like I had to do nothing for a little while after watching that.
I also want your opinion on this, because we know Waititi's filmography. He's a really good director. He's damn good. Ragnarok alone should be proof of that. Mm-hmm. But he's got other great stuff too. But Akira,
I think
you seem conflicted by this.
Because if you've seen Taika Waititi, he's a really good director. I have no doubt he could do it, but he's a comedian.
Yeah, not exactly the most serious guy.
Okay.
He's not the most serious guy, and he's not like Jordan Peele, when he did Get Out, basically was like put on his serious face and was like, no, I'm doing a serious movie. Taika Waititi's the type of guy who, if you talk to, who like he can't like make a joke for longer than 2 minutes. Like he's that type of guy. Like he's the guy who in the commentary for Thor Ragnarok was claiming that he was doing the motion capture for Tom Hiddleston. So like he's that type of guy.
Yeah, he's that type of guy.
So at the same time though, I'll give him this. He's a very visual director.
I was gonna say, if anything, I think his style alone could be more than enough for him to properly adapt it.
He's a very visual director, and Thor and Shane, you have to get on this because watch Thor Ragnarok.
I get it,
please.
Matt. Thank you. I will.
Because it's really good, but like his visual style in that is really like trippy and weird, and like has a bunch of he's a bit like this like. And the way he shoots action too is kind of like impressive, considering that he usually in terms of he's not a big budget director, but you would not think that from Ragnarok. You would think that he had only directed directed big budget films for 20 years. It's that good. So he's something.
Yeah.
So, but at the same time, live action Akira has gone through 5 different versions and has never happened.
So we'll just fucking see.
Who knows if this is actually
we'll
happening?
Wait and
but
see.
This is actually probably the closest it's had to probably
being made.
So we might actually be seeing a live action Akira in the next couple of years.
Yeah, I think that his style could very much benefit the story of Akira, because it very much falls in line with that trippy kind of psychedelic feel. Whether or not he can get the tone down is another debate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he also said, and I prefer that, and I like this too. He was going to do it in 2 films. It was going to be a 2-part film.
Okay, that's weird.
Part covers 3 volumes. And it was going to be it was going to be an entirely Asian cast.
Okay,
but he made that very clear.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Made that very clear. It was going to be a full Asian cast, and it was going to be hard R rated. So if anyone's going to do it, I want Waititi to do it.
He's got everything set up to do it right.
He's actually taking this shit serious.
Yeah, So, and the last piece of news is probably the biggest piece of news, at least for me.
Or is it?
It is the biggest piece of news. Shane recently watched a little show called Devilman Crybaby.
Oh boy.
Yeah, exactly. The official Twitter account for Devilman Crybaby teased that an important announcement will be unveiled during a live stream presentation to commemorate the show's Blu-ray box set. The Blu-ray disc box set will ship on Japan on May 30th. The stream features the anime's cast, but the staff have not been announced yet. Not been announced yet. Or a stream date has also not been announced yet. But we're getting an announcement for Devilman Crybaby in the next couple of weeks.
So this is just the thing that's going to happen in the foreseeable future, but we have no idea when or what.
$50 is an OVA.
Time to speculate on what the fuck it is.
$50 is an OVA.
$50 is Violence Jack.
Yeah, I think that is the more likely one.
It's probably Violence Jack, or it's Devil Lady. It's something involving Devilman.
It's some kind of spin-off.
Look, Devilman Crybaby was a stupidly successful hit for Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
Out of all the Netflix original anime that have come out, Devilman Crybaby is easily the one that's getting the most attention.
It's the best
easily
one.
The one that has been.
It's definitely.
I would argue it is actually.
Excuse me,
I would
have
argue
you heard of a little show called Seven Deadly Sins?
that they don't own that though.
It's a Netflix original.
Yeah, they don't make that.
It's still a Netflix original, pal.
No, we're talking ones that Netflix has made. They made Devilman Crybaby.
Have you heard of Castlevania?
And that's not anime though.
Or is it?
Or is it?
We're talking, and also Devilman Crybaby is better than Castlevania. So,
ooh, okay.
Devilman Crybaby, I would also argue is better than My Hero. I'll give it, far better than My Hero. It's arguably one of the best anime. The fucking, if it's as good as the manga, it's probably the best anime of the fucking year so far. So, and won't be.
Ahead for that comment.
Why?
My hero is Jesus. No one beats
I also like
Jesus.
Made in Abyss more than My Hero, so whatever.
Heathen.
So I like a lot of things more. I like a lot of things more than My Hero.
You heathen.
So yes, I am a heathen.
Don't
But
worry.
Devilman Crybaby's probably getting the sequel. Shane, you recently watched Devilman Crybaby. What are your thoughts on it?
Ooh, boy. Word of warning: just don't watch it in one sitting, like I did. It will drain you in more way than one.
It's 10. It's 10 episodes, so it's actually not too long of a watch.
It's perfectly bingeable format, but the subject matter it makes it hard to watch in one sitting.
Well, here's the problem.
Like, I'm just putting this out there. This is one of the most adult, violent, and graphic shows I've seen in a long time.
I'm too busy
like-
watching other stuff.
Well, that's fine. I mean, if you're at all sensitive to hardcore nudity, sex, drugs, violence, gore, any of that shit, you probably shouldn't watch to begin with.
Shane,
I know who I'm talking to, Josh. I'm just saying for anyone else.
I
I was going to say-
this is for the lovely viewers.
I was going to say, who the fuck do you think you're talking to?
I'm aware, son.
This is for the lovely viewers that may or may not be listening. Right?
There's a heavy trigger warning on this.
Yeah,
Just
there's
like
a heavy
Magic Girl
trigger
site,
warning.
there's a heavy trigger warning on it.
Mm-hmm.
I would argue more so, probably, actually. 'Cause,
Yeah,
Magical Girl
Devilman
site
is a
usually
lot
just-
more graphic than that.
And it's and the difference is that Devilman Crybaby, unlike Magical Girl site, which is like one episode and then it kind of teeters off. Devilman Crybaby just starts bad and stays bad.
Mm-hmm.
Stays bad. Oh, when you think it couldn't get worse, LOL, it
Ooh,
does.
you haven't seen anything yet.
Yeah. But Shane really liked it.
I did.
So he,
I think the one comment I put in the Discord basically sums up my feelings on this. It's as if one of Mamoru Hosoda's films was on LSD.
That's pretty much the
If that at
director's
all
style.
sounds enticing to you, then you should watch Devilman Crybaby.
Devilman Crybaby is kind of insane, and it's
kind of
wonderfully-
fucking nuts.
Yeah, and he fucking made the director of it. He also worked on Ping Pong, and he also did, but he did Tatami Galaxy, and he also did Kaiba. He did Mind Game. He's basically all of his stuff is super weird, super trippy, super out there. So Devilman was up his alley. I'm really excited. I'm hoping he gets Violence Jack, because I think it's about time we get an adaptation.
So just to clarify, is Violence Jack a sequel or a spin-off?
It is a sequel spin-off, but you don't need to have read Devilman to like it, because the connection to Devilman is not to like the last chapter.
Got it.
It's set in it's if anything, here's the thing about Violence Jack. It's Devilman, but it's so unlike other Devilman stuff. It's basically it's set in the universe of Devilman, but in reality, it's more like Mad Max than anything. It's basically something completely different.
Cool.
The Devilman universe is really confusing because it's like one of those things where you have like a bajillion alternate universes, but they're all canon at the same time.
They're all canon and connected because that is fate.
Because it's fate, and it's a cycle of violence and death, just like humanity. So, the thing, Devilman's extremely nihilistic. That's the other thing about it.
You know,
It's
I couldn't tell, Matt, in the slightest.
Yeah.
I really couldn't.
It's extremely nihilistic. So, like, it's one of those things where, like, that's probably why it's so hard to watch, because, like, you watch it and you're like, you hate humanity watching it.
You know, I
pretty much.
really couldn't tell, especially during the scene.
Humanity.
Yeah. I really couldn't tell that, Matt, especially when, spoilers, in the scene where they cut off Best Girl's head and put it on a pike.
Cool.
Yeah.
I couldn't
cool.
tell, Matt.
So, but yeah, more Devilman is probably coming.
I'm okay with that.
And that's all the news. There's barely any news.
Very brief news section. Now we can get into the meat of
Now we
this
can get
podcast.
into the star of the show, the featured anime of the week.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
All right, so as you know, last week we did the randomizer. So our featured anime of the podcast
Kill me.
is the, I wouldn't say classic, but I'm gonna say the 2012 anime Nakaimo, My Sister is Among Them, directed by Munori Nawa, written by Go.Zappa from Studio Gozumi. It lasted 12 episodes and it aired from July 6, 2012 to December 28, 2012. It's currently licensed by Sentai Filmworks and follows Shogo Mikadono, the heir to a really I want to say illustrious company
Wealthy.
in Japan, whose headman
Died.
Whose CEO recently passed away. However, in order to him inherit the will, he has one condition: he must find a nice girl. Must find a girl to marry before the end of high school. Okay, pretty standard stuff. However, there is a catch. One of these girls appears to be his sister, as he continually gets taunted by a mysterious little sister over the phone, over the intercom, over fucking the windows, apparently. A sister who not only goes to his school, is around the same age as him, and wants to marry him. So now he needs to figure out who the hell his sister is, so he doesn't, accidentally, fuck his sister.
That's bad.
That is the premise of the show. So, we're gonna start with Josh here, before we get into, some
Oh, thank God.
we're gonna start with Josh. Josh, what are your thoughts on, Nakaimo?
I can sum it
My
up
Sister
in
is
one
Among Them?
word.
Initial thoughts.
I can sum it up
Initial
in one
thoughts.
word. Meh.
Meh.
It's aight.
Is that pretty much it?
Eh. It's aight.
It's aight?
It's aight. I've seen worse. I've seen
Alright.
better. It's aight.
It's aight. Alright. Okay, let's go to Shane.
From his
'cause I
angry
think Shane
exhaling,
has
I
some
can
shit-
tell what it's going to be.
Shane has some shit to say. So what were your initial thoughts on Nakaimo, My Sister's Among Them, after finishing it?
Okay. Fuck. Alright, here we go. I hate this fucking show.
Okay.
I hate it so much.
Nice.
And and you know what? I have a few decent things to say about it, but the more I actually sit down and think about it, the more I realize how much I actually hate this crap. Because I'm sorry, Josh, if you like it, that's fine. You do you, man. But I can't. I
Hey.
can't do it.
Hey, I have a high shit tolerance. Don't worry.
That's fine. I apparently don't when it comes to this kind of bullshit. Because
Yeah.
It wasn't for everyone.
Listen, man, I've seen the worst, man. I've seen the worst.
I know.
There is some shit.
Mm-hmm.
Triggers,
It's just-
shit.
triggers like anime Vietnam flashbacks.
It's just, as soon as you say marriage and sister in the same sentence, you've lost me. And there's no going back.
There's
Absolutely no going back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's alright. So Nakaimo, I have a surprisingly lackluster, because you have one person here who thinks it's alright. You have one person here who hates it, and then you have me, the disappointing fucker who's basically completely indifferent to it.
Honestly,
For the most part, there's some shit. There's a lot of shit that I don't like in it, and has less to do with the. And there's a lot of shit, and we're gonna get into that. But overall, when I finished it, I felt there was a sense of why did there? It was less of I hated watching this, and more why did I watch this? That's
What's
more,
the fucking point?
listen, I have something. If they got rid of the whole sister thing, it would be better.
Instantly better.
It would be better. It wouldn't be a
it
whole
would
lot
be-
better. It would just be better.
I don't think it would be that much better, because even outside the sister thing, there's a lot of wasted time on
the
frivolous
sister's
bullshit.
not even the problem with the show, I would argue. The thing is that the premise itself, I'd say has the potential to have a good comedic premise. There's a good idea there. Unfortunately, they don't. The way they go about it is really like the opposite of what you want them to go.
It's poorly done.
Yeah, it's poorly done.
It had a chance to do good. It had chances. It had multiple chances. They just didn't take them.
Yeah, but we're gonna go do. But even though obviously the viewers can see our distaste for it, but we're gonna go do our standard sections anyways. As on the G.A.P podcast, we like to remain positive as much as possible, even in the face of garbage. Yeah. So,
you know what? We asked for this, so you reap what you sow.
We're gonna start with Josh here. Out of the 13 episodes that from Nakaimo, just including the OVA. Including the OVA.
Or otherwise, episode 13.
It's basically episode 13. What is your favorite episode of Nakaimo?
Episode 13.
I wonder why.
Because it's the only halfway decent episode where I actually watched it and enjoyed it, because it was basically just cuteness because the sister just didn't want his brother to date someone she didn't like. And it didn't have. It didn't have the sister trying to fuck the brother. It didn't have that shit.
That is true. True, actually.
It was just, there's some girls that want to date you. Let's determine if they're good or not. The end.
It is one of the stronger episodes of the show. It is definitely one of the stronger episodes. Whether or not that's saying anything is up to interpretation, but it's definitely one of the stronger episodes of the show. Yeah. Shane.
Yes, Matt.
Which one's yours? Which are your favorite episode in Nakaimo? Because you hated this show.
None, but if I had to choose, I'd probably have to go with, and I think it's going to be the same for you, Matt. Episode 10.
Yeah, I was going to go episode 10 as well.
Because episode 10 is one of the only decent episodes, because you shut up over there. I know it's shit. But episode 10 is one of the only decent episodes because at this point, we have a clearly identified sister, even though that turns out to be bullshit. We've put all the bullshit incest sister bait behind us, and so they actually try to put some genuine emotion into these relationships, especially the scene with Miyabi near the end was actually one of the only fucking decent scenes that I actually somewhat enjoyed, because it just shows genuine raw emotion that isn't incest, which it kind of gets ruined by the reveal in the finale, but we'll get to that. But yeah, that's really the only episode I actually kind of liked.
Yeah. Because
they stopped all the bullshit and actually tried to tell a story.
That's fair.
Yeah, most of Miyabi's stuff in the last couple of episodes was actually pretty good. So they should have stuck with it. They should have stuck to their guns, I felt, and done the last minute twist, because that's dumb. But episode 10 is my personal favorite, with a close runner-up being episode 2, actually. Probably because I felt that as someone who likes storytelling via lack of dialogue, I felt the idea to show off the character's personality via dancing was actually a really smart decision.
Cool.
The really smart decision. I felt, especially considering that there was very little dialogue there, and yet they said far more than any of the other dialogue in the show, considering that the show's dialogue is basically a whole lot of nothing. So, Shane.
Yes?
What was your, which character...
Hold on, before we get to that, can we say worst episode?
Yeah, you know what?
Episode 3?
Yeah.
Because, good God.
Good God.
Yeah, episode 3.
I could not, I was watching the episode, and I figured, I was like, they're not gonna do this. If they do this, I'm just like.
But guess what, Matt?
And they
fucking did it.
They did it. They went there, and it was weird. And I was
like, hey, let's have these two girls who either one of them could be the sister, and one of them is the sister, pretend to be his sisters, and then feed him certain types of food to make him horny, and then sleep naked in his bed with him, and then he contemplates jacking off in bed with them, and he's like, no, one of them could be my sister, I shouldn't do that, but if they aren't, then I can. Yeah, I'm giving myself cancer.
Okay. Oh, and episode 3 features a line that visibly made me actually mad.
Oh, I know what this is.
And that actually mad. We'll get back to that in a later section.
Okay.
Because I have some fucking shit to say about that. But I
know exactly what.
But Shane, in this arguably train wreck,
in this show,
in this thing, what was the character you hated the least? What's your favorite character?
Clearly Shogo, because he's literally the only likable, intelligent, sensible, level-headed person in this entire show. Everyone else is either a fucking idiot or a troll who wants to, is a sadist. They, get pleasure out of seeing him suffer. Because that's what it felt like. Everyone was either just too stupid or was actively fucking with him just because they could. And Shogo is sitting there in all of this bullshit I am so sick of this bullshit, and I'm same.
So, Shogo is also my pick, because, I feel bad for the guy. Mm-hmm. He didn't deserve this.
How do they keep getting into his house?
How did
the lockpick?
Yeah. How do they
picks? I don't know.
Are they thieves?
Yes.
Are they master thieves?
Yes.
It makes sense.
Or he just could have given them a fucking key.
Yeah. It makes sense for Ikusu, or whatever the fuck her name is, I don't know.
Ninja girl.
It's Ikusu.
Ninja girl.
Ikusu, good. Yeah, it makes sense because she's a fucking ninja and she's trained to do that shit. But everyone else just fucking...
She's his
everyone
bodyguard.
Else... Yeah,
that's
but
true.
Everyone else strolls in whenever the fuck they want, and he's like, how did you get in here? And they're like, that's not important.
That's not important.
And he just forgets
Here, let me feed you this food, and then and I'll show you my cleavage. They just basically...
Let me feed you this red tortoise, and then I'll show you my tits.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty much. That's literally all they do is fucking Konoe is the worst offender of this.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking does it more so
Oh,
than
Shogo, you can eat my cream puffs anytime.
If you're not gonna be my cream puff buddy, I'm not gonna show you the way to school.
One genuinely good thing I could say about the show is that the writing is awful, but it's that kind of awful where it's good, because you get quotes like that.
Well, marry
There's
my sister. I'm gonna marry my sister? Yeah. He's gonna marry his sister?
That line was legitimately funny. That actually made me laugh, though. That was... We'll get into that we'll get back.
Yep.
We'll get into that stuff in but yeah, Shogo's easily my favorite character. Who's your favorite character, Josh?
I have 2.
Is one of them Konoe?
No. I liked her.
Okay.
The first one, I've told everyone, it's the teacher.
Yeah,
she's fucking hilarious. The second one...
Arguably the least offensive character.
The second one is another least offensive character. The President Tendo. She's just an airhead, and she's adorable.
Okay, yeah, she's just an airhead.
She's adorable.
Yeah, she's just an airhead.
She's just sitting in the fucking class. She's sitting in the fucking student area, looking on a computer at sweets, and she's just like, I want to eat them. And I was like, yes, you're adorable.
My issue with her was that she was pointless.
I don't care.
Kind of.
You know
if that was her entire purpose, then fine.
You know how I like my Moe blobs? She was basically Moe blob.
Yeah. But Josh. Mm-hmm. Now we get into the good stuff. Who's your least favorite character in Nakaimo?
actually a very hard question. Like, to be honest, I personally really didn't hate them, any of them. Most of them were decent. If I had to say one I didn't like the least, it was like fucking the sister that in episode 10, like that sister, the one that was
oh, the fake sister.
Yeah, the fake sister, her.
I didn't hate
was
her.
Just
I felt
bland.
that
she just felt super bland to me.
I mean, she's a villain. She's like supposed to be super bland because I think the point is that like, oh, it's too good to be true type thing. So,
but
I think now is the point. Yeah,
I'll say her.
But yeah, all right. Shane, who's your least favorite character from Nakaimo?
Literally everyone else.
Literally everyone else? Is that
no?
Is
Okay,
that your
no.
actual answer?
As much as I would like to say that, which one did I hate the most? Man, this is a tough one.
Konoe, Miyabi.
Probably as much as I did like her in the beginning, probably Miyabi.
Miyabi, really?
Yeah. Just because, like, I understand her motivations, but at the same time, you don't try to fuck your brother.
Yeah.
You don't do that.
That's a big no-no.
It's like, and honestly, that relates to what I was saying before, where they kind of ruined that emotional moment that she had in the finale when it's revealed that she is his actual sister, and then it's like, oh, okay, you just took this really emotional moment that actually made me kind of feel for her and threw it out the window by going right back to the incest shit. And it's like, okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I can't go Miyabi because I felt her development was better than the other characters in the show. So easily, I think but the character that annoyed me the fucking most was Konoe.
I was gonna say her too, but then
Konoe.
I think one of the only reasons why I liked Konoe was she was voiced by Monica Rial, and she's just
that's her only saving grace.
Yeah.
Literally, Konoe's big problem is that out of the main cast one, she's the most bland one out of the main cast.
She's your basic.
The most bland one.
Arguably, yeah, she's the most standard.
Yeah.
She's the most standard. She's the most standard. I feel like I feel like that. The thing is that Miyabi's development at the end felt like genuine. Konoe's never for once felt genuine. It felt cloying. It felt like, as I like to call, as I literally screamed out in the first chunk of this series, is this Halo Reach? Because you're fucking reaching right now.
Oh my god.
Like, it was something. It was, like, and also, Konoe to me felt like a character who, like, she felt like, and this actually could extend to a large chunk of the cast, she felt like a wish fulfillment character.
Yeah. Yeah, she did.
You watch the character, and like you see the character, and the character you watch it feels like that this person was made by some otaku, a lonely otaku, who really wants a younger sister.
Yeah.
But doesn't. If that makes any sense.
Probably a sister complex.
Yeah, probably, considering that's really
all the show is
common in Japan. All right, and anything else we want to add before we get into actually ripping this thing apart?
Another cute character was the one on the student council that was just like no whenever she saw the dirty stuff. She was pretty dirty. She was pretty cute.
Anything else, Shane?
We'll take that as a no.
Shane turned into a dog, apparently.
That represents my anger.
Bark.
For the series.
He actually turned into a dog.
Holy
while
shit.
talking about Nakaimo.
Bow wow woof. Fuck this show. Woof.
Bow wow woof woof. Doggo.
No, I do have one thing to say before we get into tearing this thing apart. Tanaka?
Oh yeah, Tanaka.
I actually really liked him.
Who's Tanaka?
Oh, the one. The one who.
Because he fucking comes out of nowhere every time the teacher talks.
Oh,
and he's
him.
like,
He's
"Oh,
fucking great.
teacher."
Oh, teacher.
Oh yeah. He was actually pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie, he was actually pretty funny. But I don't know. I think it was his voice that did it for me. His fucking voice. Oh,
the rich boy voice. Oh, teacher,
rich boy.
You can just do this anytime.
And then just fucking gets chalk thrown in his
That's
face.
why I like the teacher, man. She just fucking responded like a pro.
Yeah. All right. Let's.
Oh, teacher! Instead of riding a car, you can ride on my shoulders.
Bam!
I thought he was gonna say. You know, when I first watched the episode,
You know what?
Yes.
I wouldn't have put it past this show. I thought the same thing.
Honestly, that would have been just as funny though.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? The one time a sex joke would have worked, you missed it.
The one time you could have done good and you still fucked it up.
You still. All right, so let's start tearing this thing apart.
I'll say
this show sucks. Dick.
I will stay silent on this.
Okay, let's go, Shade. Let's go. Okay, Shade.
Yes.
So let's start. The blatant homophobia. Let's go. The blatant homophobia.
Man, this is weird. Two guys getting close together. It's not like they can be a couple or anything, because that's fucking weird.
It's what line? I'm gonna go find this.
No, I think I remember the line. It's better he have a sister complex than be with a man.
Yeah, exactly. That was the line. I actually paused my video, paced around my room for literally 5 minutes. And I sat down, questioned my life. And then I just said to myself, why? And then I continued watching the episode.
Nice.
That line made me really mad. Because when I heard that, I'm like, excuse me, show? Are you trying to say that you would rather people fuck their sisters than possibly fuck a member of the same gender?
Well, at least we know the Westboro Church would like it.
Let's not go there.
I mean, we just did. So.
Well, yeah,
but the show basically just literally said that. It said that.
The worst part of it is that it's not like it doesn't hide it. It doesn't hide the fact that it is blatantly homophobic. And any chance they get, they're like, "Hey, you two men, stop being close to each other. That's weird."
Yeah. And it's like oh, because fucking Ikuzu is disguised as a guy, so everyone assumes that he's gay. So
also, can we talk about how blatantly obvious it was that she was actually a woman?
Yeah, like straight up, I was like, she's a woman.
Like as soon as she showed up, and they're like, "Yeah, that's a dude," I'm like, "You're fucking lying to me," and I know it.
And it's like her voice is female. She looks female. She acts female.
And like as soon as they get to the part in the episode where she goes to Shogo's place and gets in the shower, I'm like, they're gonna have the fucking scene where he walks in and she's a woman. And
guess what?
It happened.
It happened, and it happened the exact same way I would think. Also, the show. There's another character in the show, which I forgot to mention in the worst characters because I didn't want to bring her up because I feel that she goes beyond bad character into legitimately offensive territory. The newspaper club president. She. Okay, so in the show, the newspaper club president apparently suffers some schizophrenia. Apparently,
air quotes, schizophrenia.
I use that in air quote. Apparently suffers from schizophrenia.
Apparently suffers from multiple personality disorder.
Like this show's interpretation of schizophrenia is it's no. Yeah, it's pretty much no.
The show's portrayal of that is, I'm a different person now. Whoops, I'm me again.
That's not how one, that's not how schizophrenia works. Like,
No shit.
No, hell no. Like, and second, that's multiple personality disorder, not schizophrenia.
You mixed up your disorders there, bud.
I would less have if it was proved to me that that the author had no idea what mental illness actually is.
Yeah.
So he was just like, what's the one that scary mental illness? What is that first one we see in the fucking news? Oh, those schizophrenic
goes on to
people.
Google mental illness. Oh, schizophrenia, that sounds bad.
Oh, what's this schizophrenia? That sounds dangerous.
It sounds mildly dangerous, even though basically 80% of people who suffer from schizophrenia are like functioning individuals.
Mm-hmm.
Like the show. I mean, I get it. The show is trashy, but if you're gonna be trashy,
at least try to be
entertainingly trashy. Be a Killing Bites.
Also, if you're gonna deal with something as serious as that, at least try and make it accurate.
Yeah, if you're gonna make it, I would have less of a problem with it if it was accurate. I would have been like, okay, so it's multiple personalities, so okay, I'm fine with that.
But instead,
at the same time, no,
they
it's
just
suffers from
shoehorn a
schizophrenia.
random illness in, and
it's like if they saw her, it's like, yeah, she suffers from anxiety, and yet she was changing personalities. It's like, no, that's not.
It's
how
like
this
it's like
works.
the fucking writer fucking went on his phone and asked Siri, "Hey, what's a mental illness?" And then got the first Google search. I have found 37 results for mental illness.
I have found 5,000 results for mental illness, and all of them just happen to have schizophrenia, apparently, in Japan. I don't know. Maybe they only have schizophrenia in Japan.
Do Japanese only suffer from schizophrenia?
They only suffer from schizophrenia. Apparently, like, no, you have depression. You have No, you have schizophrenia.
Man, I knew Japan was weird, but...
But, okay, what else? Okay, let's talk about, like, actual, like, legitimate structural problems with this, because the show is not just bad for that, it's bad because it's bad.
Yeah,
so,
it's just as bad.
There's some actual problems with it. Okay, so, let's talk about how the show is classified as a mystery show, technically.
And to its credit,
technically
it does have some slight mystery elements.
Yeah, to its credit, it tries.
Even though everything surrounding the mystery is encased in bullshit.
And it's honestly a super obvious mystery, because if you watch the dub, the main voice actor...
Yeah.
Oh my god, how did I forget that? Can we talk about the dub?
Yeah, talk about the dub. Okay, I didn't hate it as much as... Yeah, I didn't hate the dub as much as you did, because I've heard worse.
Yep.
Like,
True, yes, I agree.
I've heard worse. But the thing is that it's very obvious the people involved did not want to dub this.
They clearly did not give a shit.
Yeah, they clearly did not give a shit. The only people who gave a shit are the voices of Konoe and Miyabi.
Because they're it's Brittany Karbowski and Monica Rial who take their job pretty seriously. Yeah. They're high-class voice actors.
Here's the thing, though. Everyone else is fine. Like, not good, but fine. Except for Shogo, who I swear to God has one of the worst MC voices I've ever heard in a dub.
I actually thought Sagara was worse.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, true. I will agree there. They're both equally terrible.
I thought Sagara was worse because I felt Shogo did the comedic parts really well.
Shogo got better. Shogo got better as it went on, and they actually gave him like good lines, and he actually gave good delivery.
Sagara stayed deadpan the whole time. Mm-hmm. And it was pretty bad.
And also, can we talk about the horrible ADR work in certain places?
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ, yeah.
Like, good guy. Like, if you're gonna dub something, even if you don't give a shit, at least try and make it match what's happening on screen. Don't go back to, like, the fucking old school days of, like, Godzilla movies and have the lip flaps go for, like, 2 seconds longer than the actual voices.
Yeah, like that happened. Like, there was entire moments where, like, there was just no voices at all, and I'm like, wait, what the fuck?
Clearly the ADR actor didn't care either.
it was John Swayze who was the ADR director for this. And,
Clearly, this was just a paycheck to him.
It was more than likely just a paycheck. But let's talk about the actual mysteries themselves, because my big issue with them is that initially I didn't hate them, because I was like, okay, so there's some legitimately good, decent twists here every once in a while. However, I thought about it for more than 2 seconds, and I realized, okay, wait a minute. Most of these mysteries rely on stuff that happened off screen.
They are so obvious.
Blatantly obvious.
They spoiled it in the first episode, where Miyabi, you can clearly hear her voice and her voice actor.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you
3 years ago, when I watched it for the first time, I heard her voice actor, and as soon as I saw her on screen, I'm like, that's a sister. Am I stupid?
Like, literally, if you pay attention for all of 2 seconds, you can connect the dots pretty easily.
You can connect the dots pretty easily. The show does not make it hard.
Like, unless you're 5.
And why would you be watching this if you were 5? You are a bad parent.
5? I'd rather have my kid watch, like...
To be fair,
Barney.
though, this show is not meant to be watched with the brain on. It's meant to be watched with one hand. So I'm pretty
it's
sure...
meant to be watched with your pants off.
It's meant to be watched with your pants off with one hand.
Yeah.
And the door locked.
Yeah.
So
clearly, you're only supposed to use one of your heads.
Clearly. Yeah, clearly. So... My problem with it is that, okay, so, like, you're, like, some of the mysteries, specifically, like, some of the mysteries you'll listen to, and it's, like, stuff that happens off-screen will be, like, referenced as, like, evidence for, like, the shit that happened, you know, like, wait a minute, why didn't they show this before? Like, one of my favorite examples is, with the final mystery, with, Yabi and shit at the very end. There's this large chunk of the middle of the episode, which is basically one giant exposition dump about what's actually going on. But half of the stuff that Shogo brings up, we never see happen. It's just shit. He's like, oh yeah, I went to do this, and this happened. And it's
I went to do this to talk to this person, and I got this information.
And it's like, you could have gone... One, you could have shown that information on screen, and do it more vaguely, so that way the audience could actually, you know... think for fucking once.
No, they can't think. They just want to see tits.
Yeah, exactly. Like, fuck.
And literally every fucking female in the show just can't wait to get naked. They just cannot wait.
And they cannot wait to get naked in front of Shogo too. Like the same guy. It's one guy.
Mm-hmm.
And
this
fucking...
this is just a problem with harem anime in general. It's like, oh, everyone acts like this is the only male on the planet, and every fucking female wants to fuck him.
Not every harem does that.
I understand that, but it's a problem with a lot of them.
It's a problem with a lot of them, which is why I've always said they need to make a harem anime set in a post-apocalyptic universe where there's only one male.
Where there's literally only one guy left.
Because that would be fucking it would be a funny parody of the genre if done correctly, but it would also make a lot more sense.
The only one where I understand it is High School DD. You know I love that one.
Yeah, but even
because that's the best reference for a good harem anime. Because
but High School DD.
Wanna know why they do it to Issei? Because he saved their lives on multiple occasions.
Yeah, and also Issei is also because Issei is a polygamist, so it's like...
Oh yeah.
It makes sense for his character.
He wants to be a harem king. To Love Ru also, the way they do it is, they never intend to do it. They do it on accident, except like the one or two characters that actually do like them. Well, all the characters do like them, but you get my point. And the way I like it is, the main character for To Love Ru feels awkward about having a harem. He doesn't like the idea. He knows all the girls like him.
Yeah.
But he doesn't like the idea of having a harem.
Yeah, true.
Those are like my...
So, like...
I don't know.
Yeah, but like... also, Shay, anything else you want to bring up, or did we cover most of it?
Yeah, it's poo-poo. I mean,
It's poo-poo.
I think all the main stuff has been brought up.
Animation's not great either. I want to.
No, animation is very subpar.
Yeah.
I think we've.
It's not terrible. Like, the animation isn't terrible, but at the same time, it's nothing
laying
special.
on the ground, just writhing in agony. Let's just finish this off and put it's misery.
Yeah, let's finish this.
Let's finish it off.
Let's finish this up with final scores. Josh, what is your final
6
score?
out of 10.
6 out of 10.
Oh, it went down. Okay.
6 out of 10. It's.
She said it was gonna give it a 7 yesterday. It's gone down by the day, son.
Yeah,
Like,
was this determined by a rewatch?
My original original MAL score was 7 out of 10. After rewatching it and just sitting down and thinking everything through, I gave it a 6 out of 10. Like, it's not the worst one I've ever seen. I've seen a lot of shit. I've seen Yosuke Nasora. I've seen Kiss This. I've seen. Well, actually, I gave Kiss This. I gave Kiss This an 8 out of 10.
Aramanga
Sensei. I've seen Orimo. I've seen all the shit. This is
Boku no Pico.
This is not a shit anime. It's just a meh anime.
It's really meh.
It's really meh. It's just a 6 out of 10, which is. It's meh.
Honestly, the biggest crime that fucking Nakaimo commits outside of all the shit we mentioned is being generic as fuck.
It's just
the biggest crime of it is being generic as hell, and
its audience.
Oh yeah, there's more fan service in this show that I could fucking count.
Yeah, Shane, what's your score?
Okay,
final score, final set-in score.
Final official score. I think it's blatantly obvious that I did not like this one bit. Like, I will give it credit where credit is due. There were a couple episodes near the end that put the bullshit aside and actually tried to tell a story. Shogo is actually a decent human being, unlike literally every other human in the show. But other than that, like, I really have nothing good to say about it. I did not like it one bit. The premise is stupid. The fan service is overbearing. The potential incest literally is like what kills any potential for this show. Like I said, as soon as you put marriage and sister in the same sentence, you've lost me.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, actually sitting down and thinking about it over again, I'm giving it a 3 out of 10.
Damn.
3 out of 10. I did not like this show. I'm not going to say it's the worst thing I've ever seen, but it's pretty damn close.
Pretty bad.
It's pretty damn close. This is definitely, without a doubt, the worst show I've seen in quite a long time.
For reference, the official score for Nakaimo on my anime list.
Yeah, 6.79. Yeah,
people are stupid.
Yeah, people are really, really stupid.
But yeah, I'm giving it 3. Worst show I've seen in a long time.
Whoa. The light novel is a 7.5 out of 10.
Well, then that just shows how much this adaptation fucked things up.
Manga's a 7.7.
Yeah, it could be. Who knows? Yeah, light novels could actually be a lot better. Who knows? It's actually very possible. Alright, so my score has actually gone over 3 completely different scores over the course of watching this damn thing. And Shane's gonna be surprised by this because in like private chats I post final scores to anime I've seen. So Shane thinks he knows what it is, but on further reflection, during the recording of this podcast, giving it a 4. Like, there's no...
Yes!
Like, initially I was going to give it a 5, because I was really... No, I was initially going to give it a 5, because I felt that the last couple of episodes were at least strong enough to sustain... To be like, okay, I didn't hate the last couple of episodes. But then I remembered I gave Angel Beats a 4, and I didn't hate a lot of episodes there either. In fact, I actually loved a couple of episodes. So I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not scared enough to... I was like, am I just scared to give this a 4? And then then I'm like, fuck it. It's a 4. It's bad. It's bad. It's
Also,
a bad show. It's not.
Our dear viewers, our good friend Spencer was kind enough to suffer through it with us.
Oh, are we getting to Spencer's official quote?
Spencer's official quote.
I don't have his official quote, but I know his official.
I have his official quote on standby, so
please read it off,
if I may. So our lovely friend Spencer cannot be here because of prior commitments, but he has been so kind as to leave his official quote on the series, and I will recite it now. Nakaimo is a show that starts terrible and ends kind of meh. With a relatable main character and a pretty banging OP, it is counterbalanced by homophobia, lack of understanding for mental disorders, and some seriously creepy scenes. It's not great, but with a heartwarming final episode and decent moments, it deserves nothing higher than a 6 out of 10. Spencer
was probably the kindest to this damn
Spencer,
show.
I am the cops, Hill.
Spencer was the kindest to this show. I'm pretty sure, I think, out of all of us, I think Spencer liked it the most.
That just says something about him.
That says some things about Spencer, I think.
But upon reviewing it, since I've seen enough shit to know what to rate shit.
Yeah, I have seen a bunch of shit. I gave it a 4, though, because I'm like... Shit. I've seen some shit. Look, I've sat through Mars of Destruction and Gorzy's Wings.
I've sat through Boku no Pico, man.
Yeah, the man sat through Boku no Pico.
I've seen some shit, man.
That's some fuck shit.
I give it a 4 because I'm pretty much
that's fine.
I was going to give it a 5, but it's very much a 4. It's one of the it's pretty bad,
Yeah. I am giving it 3.
So if we
I was physically in pain while watching this show.
Pile our scores
and as soon as this recording is over, I can't wait to purge it from my memory.
This was the first show you watched on HIDIVE, by the way. Keep that in mind.
Yeah, keep that in mind. My record has been stained forever.
Our general score is an average of 4.75 out of 10.
Oof.
Oof.
Mega oof. I've been tallying scores for all the podcasts, so that way I can give stats at the end of the use and shit, and see what we can. All right. So, and with that being said, time to. That's all we have to say about Nakaimo. As sisters among them, and we'll never have to see it again. So,
thank God.
So, next podcast, we're gonna be going back to a picked anime chosen by yours truly. This anime is one that recently wrapped up about a month ago. As of recording, actually, update. It's gonna be about a month ago. And it was one of the anime I think people were talking about the most over the past couple of months. It's gonna be it's going to be the fantasy show by Wit Studio known as The Ancient Magus' Bride. We're going to finally be discussing probably one of the shows that I have personally been watching for the past couple of months, and Shane has been watching as well.
On and off again. I need to catch up, but
but it's recently wrapped up pretty much. So we're gonna finally discuss it here on the podcast because Ancient Magus is one of those shows that deserves a discussion. So, and with that being said, I think we're pretty much done here. Yeah, so,
I'd say so.
Yeah, I think we're pretty much done here. So, I'm your host, Matt, aka Legion Rex. With me I have my co-host, Shane, aka The Bearded One, and our lovely reoccurring cast member, Josh,
also known as
our background dancer.
Taco. For those who wish to know.
Also known as Taco.
Also known as Taco.
Before we leave, again, word from our sponsors. Eat Ass, Smoke Grass, Sledfast. Damn the Meme Man.
We'd also like to thank HIDIVE, Crunchyroll, and Funimation for sponsoring this.
I'd like to thank HIDIVE for giving me the option to watch this terrible show dubbed.
Use the code www.HIDIVE, /fuck Nakaimo. Don't ever watch it.
.co.uk.
You'll only be able to watch Nakaimo with this with this code, but it will be worth it because then if we have to sit through it, you have to sit through it. So and with that, I think we're pretty much done here. So yeah. So I hope everyone has a pleasant day, and we'll see you next podcast.
Thank you for listening to The G.A.P. If you like what you've seen, you can subscribe to the G.A.P Podcast YouTube channel to get the latest podcasts as they go live. Be sure to like and comment and let us know what you guys think of the show. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.